I am posting this video for one reason, because it's my intention that somebody watches it and it helps them to overcome their procrastination, to get out of apathy, to step into a place of total certainty and be the potential that they know they can be in this world. And in order to achieve that, I need to be completely transparent with you. So if you haven't seen already, the title of this video is something along the lines of from $1 million to zero and then starting all over again. Maybe I've shortened the title by now or changed it somehow, but that's pretty much what we're here to talk about right now. The long and short of this video is that a few years ago, I had a business that was pulling in 50,000, 70,000 pounds cash collected. That's UK pounds, not even US dollars. We did over 100,000 pounds in 1 month, and I had staff, I had offices, and everybody else, I was living the dream. And in many ways, it was the dream, but it was actually my nightmare. And the reason for it is because I was building in a way that was great on the outside, but on the inside, I was burning down. I had anxiety symptoms. I thought I was dying. I would have painful friction all over my body. I would be dizzy all the time. I would lose feeling in my hands and legs. In the middle of a Zoom call, when you start losing feeling in your left arm, it starts to get a little bit scary. So I made the decision at that time to slow everything down. And we were at our absolute peak as a business. We had one product that generated $1 million in revenue, almost down to the dollar. And that one product I haven't sold in 2 years because it was all being built upon ego. And I'm not saying there isn't a lot of positive things that came up as a result of that entire journey. It was amazing. I was running the business with my ex-partner. She would do everything in the background. We had about 6 or 7 people working for us. I think we had 8 or 9 people working for us at one time. We had offices, as I've already mentioned, and yeah, it was great. But it always felt like a push, and it always felt like we were doing the next launch. We were doing a lot of things that I didn't really care about and that I didn't value. And I just believe that there's a million different ways to make $1 million, right? And the problem is that when you push in a way that's not you, that's when the body will tell you you're done. You should not be pushing in this way. When you start getting palpitations daily, when you start waking up with massive panic attacks in the middle of the night, literally thinking you're going to die, something has to change. And I didn't even realize this at the time, but I will share. We went from, I think, a 70 or 72,000 pound cash collected month. And then 3 months later, I was sat in my office, which was a good size office, by the way, where I had 7 or 8 staff working and I had 0 staff. The office was a mess. My partner was visiting family and we had no revenue coming in. And I remember sitting there going, how the fuck did I get to this point? I'm exhausted. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not sure if I'm happy or what I should do next. And yeah, it's easy to look from the outside and say, well, if I was making that kind of money, then I wouldn't have ego. Well, that's ego in itself. It's always easy to look from the outside and judge, right? And my dad sat me down at one point and said to me, son, I don't understand why you have so many debts. You make far more money than I ever made. And my ego at the time, always ego, just fought back and said, yeah, but you don't understand the generation that we live in now. We have things much tougher. And it was a half truth, but mostly a lie. And that began 2 years of intense healing, stepping away from everything. And I relocated. A 6-year loving relationship came to an end. I've lived the last 2 years out here in Thailand, slowed down tremendously. The anxiety symptoms have not completely gone away. I would say I'm 95% better. I go through phases where things flare up. I definitely have flare-ups, but what I've learned is that the anxiety was never the problem. My nervous system was not melting down. my body was doing its job perfectly. It was telling me, you are trying to push and it's not you. And one of the things that I've been saying to my clients, especially in this last year, is that you can only sell from who you are on the deepest level. And anything else that we try and do is faking it. And if I look back at a lot of the videos that I have here on YouTube, feel free to scroll back, I'm pushing. And it's fake. It's not the real me. I made a decision not to delete any of it, and I've been advised, oh, Pete, you should really delete those old videos. But I think to myself, no, because I want to be open about this, and I want to share. You can scroll back and look at any of the older videos, and my mum even sat me down at one point, and she's like, you seem angry in your videos. And the truth was, I was angry. I didn't realise it, but I was holding on to frustration. I was frustrated that we had ran this business in a way and everything we seemed to do would build up and then crumble down. And it's easy for the experts to say and the gurus to go, well, you need systems in place and you need to scale your business in a certain way. Yeah, we did all that. We're pretty good. I feel that the steps that we took were everything that the experts suggest. We had a finance company that we're paying, I think, around £4,500 a month to. I had mentors, I had guidance, we had support, we had, as I mentioned, team members. We also had consultants that work with us, advisors. The list is endless. But none of it matters if you're operating from a place of survival. And there is so many videos that I could film or that we could talk about, right, on operating from survival. But that was the lesson. Why was I operating from survival? Why was I not shifting into calm, into a place of peace, knowing that I'm good enough? And I think that most of our decisions are based upon that we don't feel good enough. And you can look at that. By the way, I do need to show you, this is the sky right now. Totally sidetrack. Clear skies, incredible. It is everything to know that success isn't purely material, isn't purely monetary. Money is important, it's not as important as we think. And I think when we start out, it's all about making money, right? We've got to make money in our business. We've got to succeed on some level. And it makes sense. You do need to have money in the bank. And bearing in mind, I literally teach sales transformation. That is my niche. But the reason why I've changed my business name recently to Peaceful Sales and Consulting is because I reached a point where I said out loud, I no longer work from a place of stress and anxiety. And that ended business partnerships. It ended client relationships, and as I say, ended a loving 6-year relationship. And then the healing truly began. So I slowed down for a couple of years, and I've done so much over the last couple of years to understand this better. At one point, I went through a phase where I just wanted to do nothing, and I did. I still had my clients and did a little bit of work, but I just did nothing. And I thought, shit, I don't care about anything. I've got no ambition now. I don't care about another launch. I don't care about doing a YouTube video. I don't care about talking about anything. I just want to chill. And the only way to explain it is that I had to rest like so deeply, sleep loads. And this went on for about 6, maybe even 9 months. And I felt the more sleep that I got, the more that it helped with these symptoms that I was having. I would have a deep sleep and I woke up and I just felt better. And then I went through the process, and then you start to rebuild again. And that's a wonderful thing. But the reason why I'm sharing this video with you today is because in this world that is, very like AI based now, and I just done a video yesterday on this exact topic on like AI, we are now truly entering the human era. We have like deep human connection that people are craving. And it's the psychology. And that, as I've come out the other side, and I continue, it is daily work. It's not something that I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm fine now. I fully admit that I have to live in a very different way to how I did a number of years ago, even 6 months ago. But I believe that whatever it is that you're procrastinating on, that now is the time for you to step forward. And maybe it's the time to heal, but now is definitely the time to step forward. And again, I don't know what the title of this video will be. I'm not even thinking about it too much. Where before I would, I'd be like, I've got to have the perfect title. What's the perfect hook? Let's get the thumbnail. Now I just feel like we're in this whole different economy. We're now in a world where people want peace, they want calm, and whatever is the most peaceful way forward for you. And sure enough, you need to solve a specific problem. So for me, in my business, the specific problem that I solve is I help to transform your sales, whether you're starting in business or you've been in business 25 years. And that's always served me on a certain level, even as I've been in this 2-year sabbatical. And I feel extremely grateful I've been able to do that. I've had a number of clients that have just continued to work with me. They're like, Pete, can you consult for me? And I've continued to do that. But the point is that here I am today after pretty much neglecting my YouTube channel for years, not just months, years I've neglected my YouTube channel. And I'm not saying that this is a comeback. I'm not saying that, oh, I'm going to be pushing with this channel. No, it's not about that. I don't even have that ambition anymore. I just want to be here and I want to provide videos that make sense. I hope they make sense and help some people along the way. But I do certainly feel that we don't need to worry about being polished. I've been down that route. You don't need to worry about being perfect. Imperfect action is going to take you further in this world. And I feel, and I might be wrong, I feel like people appreciate us being real more. It's so hot, by the way. I've got to sit. It's so hot. I've got to sit down. Oh my goodness. I feel like people appreciate us just being more real than ever before. I'm seeing it with YouTube channels. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be some kind of expert. My videos right now are getting 100 views. So I cannot possibly pretend to have any kind of insight. It's just, from my own simplistic observation. But I do feel that we are now in an economy where people truly want to trust just someone, an individual. They want to get to know you. And I think that a lot of good people, and I'll use the word normal people, are holding back for fear of what other people might think, or overwhelm, or just feeling that they don't know how. But I also feel that it's never been, excuse the term, I won't use the word easy, but it's never been as effortless as it is now to succeed with what you're doing, because you don't need a full-time editing team. I'm going to do 0 edit with this video. I'll leave the ums and ahs in. I'm not going to put music over the top. Nothing. I'm just going to film it and post it and see what happens. And that's the step that I was missing for sure. I've definitely been way too polished. I had some advice from a branding company years ago now, and they said, you're like the James Bond of sales. So we built an entire brand around me trying to be James Bond of sales, and it was fucking exhausting. I was just tired all the time. I was living in London, and I was wearing my suit, and I was like out and about, poof, I'm gonna be James Bond of sales. And then I'd be like angry, and then I didn't know why, and I never got to the bottom of it. Not then, because hey, we're doing another launch. I don't care about launch. I literally don't care about launches. I literally don't care about another push. Everything has to be from who I am on the deepest level. So that's my share for today, and I hope it's been of value to you. Feel free to drop a comment. I'll do my best to, I will reply, because I'm not getting that many, unless this video blows up somehow. But I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting that I get 100 views like usual, and I'll reply to everyone. So whatever it is that you feel you're overthinking, you're probably overthinking because you think you need to be perfect, you need to be some kind of polished brand. It just doesn't work that way. There are very normal people doing extraordinary things, and I think you can be one of them. Have a good one, and thanks for watching.